Warning, warning, if you're a Toronto sports fan, this video could piss you off. Let's begin. Thank you everyone. Thank you, I'm not worthy. Alright, so today on the show, we're going to be talking about some NBA basketball. And if you've read the title, you probably know today's NBA topic will be, should the Toronto Raptors buy out Kyle Lowry? So let's take a look at why I think we may or may not buy out Kyle Lowry. So you may have heard there's a few other players in the NBA who have recently been named as like former All-Stars, but were recently bought out. Why? Because I think teams have started to realize that we're going into a new generation of players, right? Like the older generation of NBA players that I started watching when I first started watching, like the Chris Bosh era. I started watching his first draft year. Actually, the first NBA game I ever watched was when Vince Carter missed that buzzer beater against Philly. And then that's when I started watching. So it was kind of bittersweet or a nice revenge to get the NBA championship with beating Philly, with Kawhi making that big shot. So it's weird how history tends to repeat, and I think the history we're seeing repeat here is that the generation of older players is being replaced, which is funny because some of the players being released aren't even that old. Yeah, that's one thing I was going to talk about that I know a lot of reporters and other people haven't really mentioned is Kyle Lowry's age, right? Yeah, and is Kyle Lowry's age one of the main reasons that we should be buying him out? It's like I was looking at a player chart the other day of the oldest players in the league, and Lowry's right up there, right? Like he's not far off. I know Lowry looks very young, but he's been in the league a long time, right? And he just had a birthday. And I know I'm in my 40s too, so once you hit your 40s, it is a little bit of a drastic change to how your body reacts to especially healing from injuries and whatnot. And I was thinking one of Kyle's latest problems, or not even latest, it's even plagued him since we won our championship, is he had a bad thumb injury, right? And it's never really healed. He's taken time off even this season for it. So it's a reoccurring injury. Kyle's getting old. I know a lot of fans have been drinking the Kyle Kool-Aid, and I know there's been points where I've watched Kyle over the years. I've seen him play every game for the Raptors. Now I'm a big Jose Calderon fan, number 8. And so I was still, I have to admit, I'm holding a grudge still. I fucking loved Calderon, and seeing Calderon get traded and keeping Lowry was like the ultimate backstabbing move for me. Because I noticed Calderon was very adamant about staying in Toronto, sort of like Norman Powell. Like he said he was, well, Norman Powell wasn't drafted by the Raptors. I know some people say he was, but he was actually drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks and then his draft rights traded to the Raptors. But anyways, he's pretty much played his whole career with the Raptors, so that's accurate. So I was just thinking, like, man, like, we've done this on more than one occasion now, where we kept the player who didn't really like Toronto and was willing to leave and demand max contract money unless the only way they would stay, and then traded away the good players that wanted to stay in the city. Now, I know Norman Powell had his big game yesterday playing for his new team, who is at Portland. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, yeah, it's like he did really well, and the players we got didn't do so well. I know it's only one game, and we got a long way to go to see how our new players work out. And there was a little bit of history repeating there with that weird number thing. I don't know if it's true, that meme going around where one of our new players, the one whose dad used to play, there was some weird number correlation where they both played in the same amount of games before they got traded. Some sort of weird history repeating. Anyways, I don't want to pick on Kyle too much. I know when I write about Kyle, I kind of get carried away. So if anyone wants to read my article, I'm going to post on the Facebook group. And I appreciate everyone who's been allowing me to post there. I know my views can be pretty fucking harsh, but when it comes to Toronto Raptors and basketball in general. So, yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Like, I got nothing really personal against Kyle Lowry other than that I used to really love Jose Calderon, and I still wish we could get Jose Calderon. I bet you he would be a better point guard than Lowry. His turnover rate was lower. His three-point percentage is right up there. His free throw shooting was better. His playoff performance is proven. Calderon not only won in some playoff games, I think, for the Raptors. I think, even with a really shitty team. I know they never won a series, but I think they won at least one game, didn't they? But even if they didn't, Jose also had really good international success. He got multiple, medals. I think he even got a gold. I could be wrong. Someone could post in the chat how many international medals Jose Calderon got. But not to say that this is a whole battle between Jose Calderon and Lowry, because that is long since over. I know I'm a pretty ancient Raptors fan. It's like, back in my day, we used to buy weed from gangs. Now we can just buy it from the government, right? Right, so yeah, that's the latest news that I think really, we probably won't hear from Toronto media, because all the Toronto media just totally kisses Lowry's ass, which I find is ironic, because, when you see Lowry in the press conferences, he treats the media like garbage. Not to say that all the players in the NBA don't do that. I know quite a few of them do, so that's not really that uncalled for, but still, I was just thinking that's ironic. And not that I'm a perfect human being or anything. I got so many flaws, and I get under a lot of people's skin. So that's why I realized with Lowry is that's pretty much what Lowry is also famous for, right? Lowry gets to the point where he gets under not only the fan's skin, he gets under his coach's skin, like him and Dwayne Casey. I think he's probably already fighting with Nick Nurse. I could be wrong about that. I know a lot of people are already fighting with Nick Nurse. We've seen Pascal Siakam go through that, so I wouldn't be surprised. And really, once you're in that long of a losing streak, like, if you're not fighting with each other, there's something weird, right? Because it's not going right, so people really kind of do end up fighting when it's not going right, right? If you're enjoying not going right, something's wrong. So yeah, so I was just going to go over all the other things at Lowry. The main reason people are asking, why didn't the Toronto Raptors trade Lowry? And I think the glaring factor was Lowry's playoff performance. You know how when players rate a player that they want to pick up in a trade, or teams or GMs rate them, what they do is they look at not only the regular season numbers, but they also collaborate, playoff numbers, right? And the one thing that Lowry does have, I have to give him credit for, is his regular season shooting performances are usually pretty good. Like, he'll get his three-point percentage up there within the top of the league. Takes a lot of charges. But I was thinking the main reason he's taking charges is he spends too much time in the paint. I'd like to see my point guards more out guarding the other point guards rather than always in the paint. Because that's where the Raptors kind of suck in rebounding, is you always have your point guard trying to box people out. And Kyle can't really box out centers, right? He's a fucking half their size, half their weight. I know sometimes he does really good with those charges, but you got to wonder, like, weighing the charges versus the other things. I know a lot of NBA analysts are starting to actually come to this conclusion, is yeah, sometimes players pad stats, but is it the right kind of stats? Are you actually helping the team win? I know people argue and say that Kyle helped us win the championship. You got to remember, Kyle had the injured thumb during our championship run, so he was pretty much letting Kawhi run the show. And thank God, because Kawhi won us the championship. I don't know if you ask anyone in the U.S. media, Kyle didn't win us the championship. Kawhi did, right? Kyle's been on our team for how many years? Decade even? And it's like, we didn't win any championships then. Usually it was bad first-round exits. Why? Because Kyle set the record, the NBA playoff performance record. Anyone who doesn't believe me, just type this into Google, NBA playoff shooting percentage worst record, and then pages and pages of Kyle Lowry come up, because I don't know how Kyle managed to shoot so bad in the playoffs that he actually broke the NBA playoff record for the worst shooting percentage. So I think that's kind of what other teams, when they're looking at Kyle at the trade deadline, they're probably thinking like, Jesus, man, yeah, he plays good during the regular season, but clutch time, like the playoffs or even the end of games, like we're seeing a lot, once Kawhi's been gone, it's been really hard to finish end of games. I know, like, I watch other teams play sometimes, and you see their best player, their team's leader, they hit buzzer beaters to win games like once a week. I know Kyle has hit a few, but I don't recall these happening like once a week. I remember most of these shots always going out. It's probably just me being skeptical or negative, but yeah, I don't recall Kyle hitting like thousands of buzzer beaters for the Raptors. Maybe he has. Not to say you should be shooting buzzer beaters to win games. Like when I look at an NBA team that's successful, sort of like how Kawhi did it, is when it comes down to the final possessions of games, who's going into the paint to dunk it, right? That's really what it comes down to. And is Kyle going into the paint to dunk it at the end of games when it counts? Like that's the one thing I always pick on LeBron James a lot too, not just Kyle. But the one thing you got to give LeBron credit is usually now when it comes time to the end of games, he doesn't always just take fadeaway jumpers. He'll go in and try to actually finish the games himself. So I don't know. Now, a lot of people are negative about LeBron James and picking on his injury, but I don't like that. It's like as much as I criticize players like Kyle or LeBron James, I want to at least see them healthy and try to do their best. I don't want to be picking on them when they're in an injured state. Because I know all about injured states. That's been the story of my life. Yeah, so I'll never fucking pick on people for that. So anyways, yeah. What else was I going to say about Kyle? We got to the NBA worst shooting percentage. We got that we should probably buy him out. I don't know, does anyone agree that we should buy him out? Yeah, and I was thinking too, if anyone likes my NBA content, my critical reviews of different players, I know in our Canadian media we hardly get any critical reviews. Not to discredit any of the other Canadian NBA YouTubers, but a lot of them are ass kissers too. I know what it is if you want to get interviews with players, probably shouldn't be saying mean things about them all the time, right? Unless the players have guts and want to come on your show to challenge you, but I don't think that really happens in our society much these days. Mainly it's just ass kissing, right? Now, it's always funny. Did anyone notice Canadian media that Tim and Sid's show got broken up? Now they call it, what is it, Tim and Friends? And Sid was like so good at ass kissing on sports shows that he got his way all the way up to fucking like, what is it, breakfast television. So congratulations to him, but I think that's a little bit of an example of like how like Canadian media is ultimate ass kissing for sports. I know I shouldn't say that to some degree. I've heard, I could be wrong, it might have been Granger, but he was actually saying a few critical comments, even to Kyle. I know because when it came time to that, the huge protest during the playoffs, we had the whole thing about people are putting shit on their jerseys. And Kyle was something about he wanted to see education reform. So I could be wrong, but I'm just like semi-quoting my memory, and I was pretty hammered that day, so I probably fucking forgot half of it. But anyways, Kyle mentioned something that his kids were being raised to be racist in the school system, and that's why he wanted to see change. And then I think who was it, the reporter, it could be Granger, he asked Kyle, he's like, oh my God, man, that's horrible. He's like, who the hell taught your kids to be racist? Like, who is the teachers? And then Kyle's like, oh, they're homeschooled. I was like, oh. I don't know if they planned that interview to go like that, but that was a little bit awkward. No, not to make fun. Oh yeah, it's the other thing, Kyle's victimhood. Like, I know I shouldn't make fun of victimhood because it's so unpopular these days. People are embracing victimhood, like always blaming the refs for losing. And I do it all the time too, because I've been a failure in life all the time, so I always try to find someone else to blame for it. Like, oh, it was the booze, or it was the weed. Had nothing to do with my own actions. Yeah, so I'm not to say, like, when I criticize Kyle of having the victimhood mentality, that I'm not acting like that. It's probably one of my worst traits, and I always get under people's skin. So that's why I think it's ironic that I made a video picking about Kyle, but because that's usually some of the worst traits that I have too. It's my most common traits. Yeah, so sorry Kyle if you happen to watch this, because I know a lot of the videos Kyle says he keeps track of what all the fans say about him. So I know I keep posting a lot of mean shit over the years. In a lot of cases, Kyle has the poke the bear mentality. So a lot of cases, even though I say mean stuff about him, it's like in a way, I'm a Raptors fan. And if poking the bear gets Kyle to help us win better, it's like, aren't you tempted to poke him a little too? Be honest. Now, I think as Raptors fans, we've all gone through phases of loving Kyle, hating Kyle, whenever he's playing good and playing bad. That's just how we are in nature, right? I was going to say, too, for the antagonist thing, yeah, I'd like to give Kyle, like, the credit. As much as I bashed him in this video, he is the best antagonist I've ever seen. Like, when it comes to getting under people's skin, the refs or other teams, that whole poke the bear mentality, it's actually something I do look up to him for. if I could ever strive to have that sort of impact on others, just with my sheer mentality. Yeah, like that really has taken over some games. Not that I say that victimhood never works. There's a lot of times Kyle's like really yelled at the refs, and it has turned the games in our favor, right? So I don't know. That's the only thing I always wonder about Michael Jordan, right? Maybe he did have tirades against the refs. I never used to watch him play because that was before my time. But did Michael Jordan have like tirades blaming the refs for changing all of the outcomes of games? Or would he just be like, man, I'm going in there and fucking dunking. I don't give a shit what the refs say. Right, so yeah, best of luck to the Raps and best of luck to all the new players. I know I was sick to my stomach when Norman Powell got traded. I literally almost considered quitting watching basketball. But I played basketball my whole life growing up, even in school a little bit, elementary school. I was too busy partying in high school to actually play any real basketball. But no, who knows? Maybe one day I'll play in a seniors league. I'm not far off from that. Yeah, if we ever get our normal lives back too. Yeah, good luck everyone, and yeah, try to stay positive with this whole lockdown situation. I know in our region in Ontario, the Raptors have been gone and playing in Florida, and that's really been fucking pissing me off because I see the Tampa Bay fans just living it up. They still have all their human rights. They can go to games. They have sports teams. I really hope the Canadian government opens our border soon. I know some people are paranoid about some sort of virus or whatever could go across, but 50,000 truckers are already going across every day. And you know what truckers do? They usually make out with people when they get here. So I was thinking if 50,000 people are doing that, making out when they get here every day, I'm pretty sure we could let in a fucking sports team or two, right? They probably won't make out with everyone when they get here. Let's hope. Some of them are married too, right? No, I know the authorities are only trying to do their best, and it is uncharted territory, and we do have to listen to all the authorities. I never preach civil disobedience. As much as I'm a rebel, I don't rebel against them. All right, good luck, everyone, fans-wise, and all your other teams. If everyone else happens to be watching from other sports teams, leave it in the chat. Which team do you cheer for? And if anyone's watching this as a Raptors fan and you love it, if you could give it a thumbs up. If you hate it, if you could give it a thumbs down, just at least try to explain why. And I'll argue with you in the chat. Hope you're ready. All right, so good luck, and yeah, and who knows, maybe Lowry, I'm all wrong, and he's going to turn it around. His thumb is going to heal. He's going to have a breakout season, and I know people are writing the Raptors off this year, but they have that playoff entry tournament. I don't know how many other fans and shows have started talking about it, but I think we have a chance to make that tournament, and if we do, anything could happen, because then we'll be in the playoffs. And who knows, maybe me poking Lowry in this video will be enough for him to fucking pull off a fucking epic run and be like, oh yeah, you know that fucking video you made about having the worst shooting percentage in the playoffs? Take that! Alright, so come on Raptors, let's go, we can do this. Alright, yeah, and if anyone likes these videos, if you can sub, I just reached over 1,000, so I might even starting to do commentary live if you want to see me call games. I'll try not to be too offensive. No, really, because the NBA would probably take me down in one game. And I just got, well, I haven't reached monetization. I'm still applying for it. I got to clean up a few copyright strikes. So yeah, if anyone wants to help out the channel and sub and leave comments and share videos, really appreciate it. And big shout out to the Facebook community. Oh yeah, and there was another player I was kind of having a heated debate with, who's a big Jeremy Lin fan, Raptors fan too, I believe, or maybe he was just in another basketball group, could be wrong. Yeah, but I think he's from Manila, so shout out to that guy. I know I was very critical of Jeremy Lin, but maybe I'll make a whole video about him as well. I think Jeremy Lin's got a lot of the same situation with Kyle Lowry. If we poke the bear a little bit, maybe he'll pull things around, because like really, I think Jeremy Lin is young enough that he could still make an impact in the game. As much as I criticize his victimhood mentality as well. All right, so take care, everyone. Yeah, he's probably turning around. Maybe I can too. Maybe Kyle can. We all got potential while we're still breathing, right? Yeah, and if you happen to see me in Toronto, I'm the big guy walking around wearing the Jose Calderon jersey. And I'll be wearing a mask. So no one can really see if it's me. All right, take care, everyone. Bye for now. Later. Yeah, I'll be back in Toronto soon. Hopefully once all the world situation's back. Now I want to make it to the Raptors, Jurassic Park. I've seen it on TV a million times, but I've never been there yet. So yeah, if anyone likes my videos, give me a shout out if you see me at Jurassic Park. Just don't mug me. If you love Kyle Lowry. Alright, see you later. Bye for now, everyone. Yeah, and I've got a whole bunch of affiliate links in the chat below if you want help out with those. I appreciate it. But just remember, a lot of them involve 18 plus, only things adults. So you have to make sure you're of age to click on any of those links. Don't get me or anyone else in YouTube in trouble. All right, later. Bye for now. Let's go, Raptors!
Let's go, Raptors!